Good evening, and welcome back. Tonight I'll be working on a little piece I like to call Touchy Situation. For this one I wanted to use a version of my logo that I made using my little skull and ear bones badge in place of the O. I think it still reads well enough, and we'd be saving on white toner if we decide to print it, so it's more environmentally self-conscious. Now this is something I never could have gotten away with in my old corporate job. You never messed with the logo. The only thing you could do with the logo is make it bigger. My old boss used to play that song in the office all the time. I'll link it in the description below. You see, we made ads for video games, and we worked closely with the marketing teams for each product to make sure they were happy with their representation. Now, while we always did our best to give them what they wanted, there was occasionally a bit of friction. I often butted heads with one particular marketing director, usually over the logo. Now, he was one of the nicest guys you could ever hope to meet, and I can't recall him ever losing his temper or being rude to anyone. But he did possess one particularly infuriating trait. He was usually right. I'd email him the comp for a new ad that I'd worked up, and he would call me to talk it over. "This looks great," he'd say, "but the logo isn't centered." "I have the file open right now in Photoshop," I'd say. "It's centered. I used guides and everything." "I don't think so," he'd say. "It looks like it's just a little too far to the left." In frustration, I'd zoom down to microscopic levels to count the number of pixels to either side of the logo. "Damn it!" And he'd always be right. Except on one occasion. We were approaching November of the year 2011, and we had a big release planned for that month, on the 11th day. I was very excited about this because for probably the only time in my human lifespan, I would be able to write a date in an ad that was so symmetrically, aesthetically pleasing that it nearly made me weep to contemplate. 11/11/11. It was beautiful. The composition of the ad was so balanced that Thanos himself would have smiled to look upon it. And there, at the bottom, like some Nostradamus prophecy of old, 11/11/11. I sent the email with the comp attached. A moment later, the phone rang. "This looks great," the marketer said. "We love it." I breathed a sigh of relief. Just one thing, though. My heart sank into a well of darkness, knowing before he spoke what he was going to say. "Can you change it to, say, 11/11/2011? I struggled to control the seething torrent of emotions which now bubbled up within me. I couldn't put into words all the things I wanted to say in that moment. All my years of public schooling and office work now desperately fought to suppress that primal avatar of artistic fury that raged like a chained beast inside me. At last, all I could utter was a single broken, "Why?" "Well," he said, "people won't know that's the date it's coming out if we don't put the full year in there." "Our customers aren't that stupid," I said. He laughed. "Yes," he said, "they are." I think that sums up why I wasn't cut out to be in marketing. I don't like creators that have no respect for their own fan base. I saw a lot of that in the video game industry, and I hated it. Probably because I was part of that fan base. Ah, well. I try to heed the Lord's advice and forgive those who have trespassed against me. In that I feel that I have mostly succeeded. But there are some sins so reprehensible, so vile, that I have trouble letting go. And in the fullness of time there will come a day when my old friend from marketing and I will meet again in the afterlife. On that day, I will greet him warmly, and we shall embrace as brothers long separated. And leaning close, I will whisper in his ear, 11, 11, 11. Speaking of dates, my second week of using a day planner has gone quite well. I've gotten a lot of work done. I think the problem was that before I began scheduling things down to the hour, I spent a lot of time getting ready to do things. If I knew I had to have a certain drawing finished on a particular day, I'd spend a little too much time making sure that I was doing it right. Oh, I don't think I've ever drawn a set of medieval leg irons before. I better do some online research to make certain the drawing will be historically accurate. Oh, and while I'm doing that, I could be listening to a podcast. I better pick out a good one. So on until eventually I'd finish whatever task I'd set for myself that day, but it would take 3 times as long to complete as it really should have. Now, if I know I've only scheduled an hour for penciling a piece, and then I have to move on to editing a video before dinner, I don't spend a lot of time ensuring the historical accuracy of random greebles, or learning about the dietary habits of Philip of Macedonia. Shocking, you say? You're fine with letting historical inaccuracy slip into your art? Yes, I am. And though I know that because of this I will never be the greatest artist that ever was, I'm fine with that. I would rather do a lot of good than a little great. Now, I do admire artists who drive themselves to heights of artistic achievement that I will never attain. It's all right to applaud their efforts, and I hope they derive real satisfaction from knowing that they have made something truly remarkable. But I know myself well enough to understand that I wouldn't derive that kind of satisfaction myself. I love when I see that people are enjoying my work. I don't feel any particular satisfaction from knowing that they enjoy it more than someone else's work. Don't get me wrong, I love recognition, just not competition. Now, if your dream truly is to be the best around, nothing's gonna ever keep it down. Sorry. Then go for it. If competition is what drives you to succeed, then embrace that. I wish you luck, and I hope you win. I'll be cheering you on from the sidelines. But I'll have to pencil that into the day planner. Does Monday at 3 p.m. work for you? Where were we? Oh, yes, tentacles. Gotta love them. And there we go. Nesservert? What the hell does that mean? Anyway, if you like the picture and want to support my channel, you can click all the things and then follow the link to my TeePublic shop in the description below. There you can pick up a sticker or a t-shirt or a coffee mug or something with our sticky little friends on it. And if you take it to the office with you, you might even get to have a long chat with the nice people in the HR department. Very friendly people in HR. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.